Hey, I'm Seth from Ænimus.
And I'm Sean from Ænimus.
And you're watching Sons of Scullery.
Your soul is mine. Fatality. Welcome to another episode of Sons of Scullery. I'm Chef Sam Johnson.
And I'm Chef Jesse Brookshire.
Today we're going to be doing our take on Japanese cuisine. We got a little bit of dessert sushi for you.
Dessert sushi. It's an original. You're going to love it. And we'll take you through it step by step.
First things first, what we're going to do is we're going to rinse our sushi rice.
You want to get all that starch off the rice because that way when you're cooking it, this is a very sticky rice. So you don't want there to be too much starch in there or it's really going to become too gluey. Just agitate it, constantly agitate it until it starts to bring out some starchiness. Pour that off.
You have to do
it again. There you go. As you can see, the water is not turning color at all. Very vaguely. That's what you're looking for. Still a little bit of starchiness in there. That's the point where you want it to be. All right, once we have our 2 cups of rice washed properly, we want to go into 3 cups of water, and then we want to get that up to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you want to drop that down to a simmer. We're going to simmer it for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to take it off the heat and cover it.
Next up, what we're going to do is going to go ahead and make a habanero caramel sauce for our sushi roll here. Whoa! Those ninjas can be quite pesky this time of year. Okay, what we're going to do next for our habanero caramel is we're just going to take a whole habanero. These are really hot depending on your taste. This one was more weak, so we decided to use about a little bit over half of it. So we're going to go ahead and dice it into a fine dice here. You can wear gloves while you're doing this if you want to. Just make sure you wash your hands after you actually cut the pepper, because if you touch your eyes, it's not going to be very fun for you.
Yeah, and with this caramel sauce, it's for a dessert, so we just want a nice little zing on there.
So now we got a nice little mince on that. What we're going to do is go over to the stove here with 1 cup of sugar and a half a cup of water. We're going to go ahead and add our 1 cup of sugar to the pan on about a medium heat and a half a cup of water. And then our habanero, and it goes. And what we're gonna do is let that caramelize, probably about on a medium to high heat. And then when it gets to the caramelized state where it's gonna be golden brown, we're gonna add 1 stick of butter and a half cup of cream to finish it off.
So with this caramel, you're looking for a nice dark brown color, more of a mahogany chestnut color. Once you get to that stage, you either wanna add your liquid in immediately and stop that cooking process, or you can take it off the heat. I like to do cream first. Just watch out for that steam that starts to evaporate off that cream. And then you want to slowly add your butter in, nice cold butter. If you don't stir it frequently enough, then that butter is going to start separating and it's going to create an oily sauce. And make sure it's... Just don't separate that butter out of there because it's going to turn into oil. All right, we've stopped the cooking process on this rice. About 12 to 13 minutes in, we've let it sit for about 5 minutes. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop that onto the sheet tray and we're gonna spread it out, let it cool at room temperature. So nice, perfect granules of rice here.
Yeah, it's perfect. Smells great.
Nice
too.
and fluffy. As it sits at room temperature, a lot of that moisture is gonna evaporate, as you can see.
Hey! Hey!
As you can see, the ninjas continually try to infiltrate.
It's because they don't know how to cook and they're trying to steal our food.
You can't infiltrate the Kung Fu masters at work here.
When you're spreading this rice out on the pan, you don't want to like stab at it and create a mess. You're just gonna turn it into pudding. We're not trying to make pudding here. We're trying to make sushi, not pudding.
Just be gentle.
Next up, we're gonna cut our bananas because we're gonna brulee them. Go ahead and just cut the tips off here. Cut that in half. And peel the skin back here. Unroll it.
So with these bananas, we're gonna brulee them in the oven. We're not gonna go with the blowtorch like you traditionally would. So we're gonna throw the oven on broil. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna set all these planks down at the back side, and we're gonna sprinkle this with sugar, and we're gonna throw them under a broiler.
So
you
we're
wanna
looking
get a
for right
nice
here.
caramelization on that thick piece of banana.
All right, now we're gonna take these bananas. I'm gonna put them on a bake tray.
Sam's gonna line those up for a nice little caramelization into the broiler. And what I have here is 1 can of coconut milk, and this is unsweetened coconut milk, the first pressing, if you can get it. And I have 1/2 cup of sugar. So I'm gonna get this on the burner, I'm gonna turn it to about medium heat, and I'm gonna let it to reduce, and we wanna bring it down to about half the volume. 3/4 is gonna be pushing it, but we want about half that volume. This is gonna be our glaze for the sushi rice, so.
Meanwhile, I'm going over here and sprinkling sugar on both sides of this banana. You don't want to do too much, about a medium coat, that's what we're looking for. And we got our broil set on high in our oven, and these are gonna go straight into the oven.
Next part of this dish is we have a nice little cream cheese mousse. So we're also gonna do a ginger whipped cream with this. So Sam is gonna do 12 ounces of whipped cream, and we're gonna whip that until it becomes nice and has nice peaks on there. So we're gonna use half of that for our whipped cream, we're gonna use half for the mousse. So he's gonna get going on that.
All right, what we got here is we got some heavy whipping cream. Use the heaviest you can find because that table cream will take forever. Next, what we're gonna do is take about 1/2 cup of that, and we got some minced ginger right here. We took about like a fat pinch of that, put it in here, and we're just gonna blend this together. Also, when you're whipping your cream, make sure you add sugar to it so it has that nice sweet flavor to it as well.
Exactly. And we didn't oversweeten it because we also, right here, we have 4 ounces of strawberries, which we macerated. So that means you basically chop them up, add a little bit of sugar, let them sit, and as you can see, it becomes nice and syrupy. It kind of draws out a lot of that moisture in those strawberries. So we're gonna go in to the whipping cream.
About 1/2 cup for the ginger whipping cream and about 1/2 cup for the strawberry mousse we're about to make.
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our cream cheese to that, and we're just gonna give that a mix.
I'm gonna use the low setting. Pretty good.
For the last part of this dish, we're gonna make some pistachio butter. So basically a peanut butter with pistachios. And that is gonna be our wasabi for this dessert dish. So what we have right here is, we got a couple ounces of cream. And some toasted pistachios. You just really gotta get in there and get after those pistachios, really grind them up.
Just like peanut butter.
It's like peanut butter, and if you want, you can go in there with a little bit of green food coloring, make this look like real wasabi you get in the sushi places you visit. But
I think we're good.
Alright, so what we have here is our mock wasabi, which is our pistachio butter, our mock ginger, which is a fresh sliced mango that we rolled up into a nice little roast, and then our almond chocolate soy, which what I did was heat up a cup of almond chocolate milk and took that off the heat. Once it boiled, add a cup of dark chocolate, just let that mix up really nicely. So there's our mock plating. And then what Sam and I are gonna do is now we're gonna roll our roll. So traditionally with sushi rolls is you'll have a nori sheet, which is a seaweed sheet, but we're not gonna do that today. So we're just gonna lay out some toasted coconut that we have on our bamboo rolling sheet. And that's gonna act as kind of a sesame seed base. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna start laying the sushi on there, the sushi rice. And what you wanna do is with the sushi rice, it's very sticky. So you just really wanna lay it out on a nice thin layer. You don't want it to be too thick because we're gonna go on top of that with our brulee banana and some chocolate cake. So also we have some water over here, which anytime you're dealing with sushi rice, you can make your hands nice and wet. That way it's, that rice is not gonna stick. Next up on the sushi roll, we got our coconut reduction. We reduced it by 2/3. So now we're just gonna go right on top of that rice.
It smells so good.
And you don't wanna put too much on here. We just want a nice solid coating over the entire surface. And we're just gonna cool this down for about 5 to 10 minutes and let it kind of solidify before we add our other ingredients and then start rolling. Now that we've destroyed all the ninja infiltrants, it's time to plate this dessert. Finally. All right, here we go. So we've let this cool in the freezer / fridge. You want that coconut milk mixture to kind of coagulate, create a nice little surface there. So we went about 15 minutes in the fridge. You can go in the freezer for about 10. And then we're gonna lay down these banana strips that we caramelized. Just like this.
Beautiful.
And then
Throw it in cake strip.
A couple cake strips on there.
Let's go ahead right on top there.
And we're gonna grab this strawberry mousse.
Cool.
Just gonna come in here with a little bit of mousse. And here we go, the piece de la resistance. So make sure that rice goes right over your roll. And you just want to squeeze it in there. As you can see, some of that mousse is kind of squirting out of there. But what you want to do is make sure you're holding it in place and rolling at the same time.
It's very important to put saran wrap over your bamboo mat. Make sure it's cinched up before you do this.
So
Looks beautiful.
there we are with the delicious little sushi roll. It's very delicate. So here's our dessert sushi roll. You just gotta be real careful cutting this. I like to keep your blade clean. And you want to have a nice sharp knife as well. If you don't have a nice sharp knife, then it's just gonna smash this. So keep your fingers nice and moist. Chocolate.
Beautiful.
And we've given a little more chocolate on there for, you know, all intents and purposes.
We're gonna go take some candied ginger that I made earlier. Candying ginger is a very, very simple process. Check it out on Google. I'm just gonna go right over the top of the roll, give that nice little crunch, a little bit of sweet element to it as well. Not like that it's not sweet already.
We have our ginger whipped cream. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay that right down the middle here. There you have it.
Dessert sushi.
Dessert sushi.
Or salmon
Damn ninjas!